is it's here. Camp week.
25 straight weeks of NFL football at a minimum.
At a minimum. And by the way, JJ, I wasn't welching on you guys. I didn't realize you were back today, but you'll have bonus tomorrow. Okay. I make that promise.
Wow.
I wasn't sure your schedule, so my latest losing moment. So you will have bonus.
Shout out to Rory McIlroy.
Yeah. And
I think this
hero
one,
of mine.
I think this one wasn't this one Fitzy?
Yeah.
That let you down?
No, but he had McIlroy.
But
you had Rory.
Fitzpatrick for Frank missed the cut.
And here's other guys would whine. I never whine. Okay, I would never point out that in my 3 losses, Morikawa hurt his freaking back on the first hole. Fitzy and Tommy, I'm not even going to call his last name, Fitzy and Tommy, okay, have missed 1 cut each all year. All year.
Fitzpatrick was going into this tournament as the hottest guy on the planet.
All year. Fleetwood, he had 28 straight cuts for Fitzpatrick. Quit smirking over there, okay? Okay? 28 straight cuts.
It's a shame. I don't know what else I can say other than it's a shame that happened to you.
28 straight cuts for Fitzpatrick. 28, JJ.
Should have went with Alex.
Okay, 20. Yeah, right. I picked the wrong Fitzpatrick.
Thank goodness he didn't take us up on the trade.
Yeah,
because he would have beaten. I think.
I should have taken Alex Fitzpatrick.
I think Alex got ahead.
I should have taken Alex Fitzpatrick or Joe Fitzpatrick or Bob Fitzpatrick, but I picked the wrong one. So anyway, but just so you know, Fleetwood and Fitzpatrick, 1 missed cut all year. And the other guy hurt his back on the first hole. Not bitching, because I would never bitch about this stuff, okay? I'm just telling you where I am.
It's a testament to the greatness of Scotty Scheffler that he's 3-0 this season in Loser Monday competition.
Unbelievable.
I mean, say what you want about Scheffler.
0 major wins, but
he's come through.
Loser Monday.
He's come through 3 times for each of us in Loser Monday.
Did I point out to you, by the way, that Fitzpatrick had 28 straight cuts before he...
That was so weird. And again, not to rehash it, but he just seemed like he had wanted to be anywhere else on earth but there for those 2 days.
There was one of the years when you would always say, well, if I pick them, they're going to miss the cut. Well, that's where I am now, okay?
And we did say going into it that, hey, we always think it's going to be close.
It's always
never close.
There's always a guy that
never
misses
close.
Incredible.
Yeah, so anyway.
We'll figure out a way. I know the Tour Championship is no cut and only 30 guys. Trust me. Trust me. We'll figure out a way for it not to have any drama on Saturday.
There'll be a withdrawal.
Yeah, there'll be a withdrawal.
I'm convinced now that if we'd have done this 10 years ago, we'd have picked fewest interceptions. I'd have picked Tom Brady, and he'd have thrown 5. It's just that kind of year. So, hey, Camp Week is this week. We're very excited about it. JJ, first time I've been in studio with you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Congratulations to you, and it'll be the most important thing in your life. I think you already know that, so it really will be.
When everyone's like, hey, you don't really know how much you love something until you have a kid, and you're like, okay. And it's so real.
Yeah,
I mean, it's insane.
In our show right now, we have 3 girl dads in here, and girl dad's pretty.
And
cool
I honestly, I said this to my wife. I feel like a fool that I was begging for a son so bad.
Yeah.
Because she's just everything.
Yeah.
I'm so in love with her. It's awesome.
Having a kid, there's nothing like having your first, and so congratulations. No question about that. All right, Camp Week today. We're going to talk all about camp. Storylines, there's a bunch of them now. Travis Hunter's been one. Nicole Van Lannon became one. Chris Rodriguez has been one. So we're going to get into some of the storylines today as we get set for training camp. It starts on Wednesday, as you know. Both the drill and Jaguars today will be out there for the entire camp each day. So we're certainly excited about that for them, and they'll do a terrific job. A bunch of guests will be coming on, so we look forward to that. I'm going to go around the league a little bit too, Hayes. Kind of the quarterback injury watch, Patrick Mahomes is now going to play. Daniel Jones is now going to play. So maybe injuries don't matter anymore. So we'll certainly get to that coming up on the program today. Aaron Donald, is he going to play? Is Aaron Donald playing?
I think he is. I
think
it's just one of these things where it's like, I don't really want to go through the first couple weeks of training camp, but yeah, I'll get there once you guys are heading into maybe the 3rd preseason game. Yeah, not that he'll play in that, but that's a good time to sort of join and get ready, because you got to think the plan's going to – he's not going to play 80 snaps a game. I mean, the plan's going to be give us your best 25 snaps.
Right.
And so, I'd be shocked if he doesn't join the Rams at this point. He was working out in their facility a month ago.
Stories are back-to-back that I prepared for the show. To Aaron Donald will he play in Jacoby Brissett's contract? First time Aaron Donald and Jacoby Brissett have ever been mentioned in the same sentence. Okay,
yeah, so unless he sacked Brissett before.
That'd be the which he probably has.
He probably has.
So that LeBron to the Sixers, JJ, on a Monday afternoon here on the First Coast. Surprised?
I was. I mean, not necessarily at the end of the process because you heard all the names floated around. By the way, did you hear about the Miami Heat social media where they accidentally posted a introduction press conference video for LeBron, and that made me think that he was going there at the very last day. But yeah, I kind of like the fit for him. I mean, it's in the Eastern Conference. We all know that's a lot easier road to get there. The Knicks are, the defending champs, but it doesn't seem like they're going to be just a right in to win the East over the next 5 years. So yeah, I think this season maybe they could make it to the finals. Yeah, one more run for LeBron. I'd love to see it.
Yeah, and look, and here's the other part of that too: is it answered the question, Hayes, we were all asking: did he want to play just to keep playing so he could play with Steph? Did he want to go home because he's from Northern Ohio? Well, now we know. He's chasing a ring. They got Jaylen Brown.
I mean, close the deal 2 years, $8 million.
Yeah,
nothing.
I mean, this is the ultimate.
Brady.
I just want to go win another title.
Yeah.
And I'm excited about
Me too.
I'm looking forward to seeing
I'm excited about it too. I thought the same thing because it was clear. It was clear with Embiid and Maxey, and now they got Jaylen Brown. He went to win a title.
Yeah,
he went,
and it's in the East.
Yeah, right. It was correct. It was never about the money. By the way, he is a billionaire. He's one of the few athletes to ever. You realize that he's one of the few athletes to ever be an actual billionaire. So he probably can afford the mere.
He doesn't need that 8.
Yeah, $4 million a year. So, but yeah, so interesting. We'll get to that coming up later on in the program. The Gators picked 9th. That too low? Was that about right?
I think they'll finish higher than that, but it's funny because I was going to ask you the same thing. Because to me, I'll be disappointed if it's 9th, but I also understand it when you can. I was a little surprised that the media had as much faith in Tennessee with the quarterback uncertainty as they do because Tennessee was 8th. But I mean, Oklahoma, who a lot of people love to make a big run, they're 7th.
I know.
It's just a deep league. I mean, it's an incredibly deep league, and so. But I would be disappointed if they finish 9th.
Yeah, and I'll get to it later on. But I was surprised. I shouldn't have been when I saw the 8 teams ahead of them. Just a lot of good teams in the conference.
Yeah.
I mean, so but look, I'll tell you this. My buddy, I played golf with my buddy Ben yesterday, who is a diehard Illinois fan, and he thinks Illinois is going to be pretty good. I mean, now the Bielema they're a top 25 program now. They're not great, but they're not a disaster, which is what they've been ever in between Zook and Bielema. They were a disaster. So you think they're pretty good? It should have a good year. They're picked 9th in the Big Ten. So, I mean, it just shows deep leagues are deep leagues.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, so it's hard. So we'll sort of talk about that. I want to get to this later. Have you tried the Hawk yet?
Yeah, I like the Hawk.
You did? Did you like the Hawk?
We both like the Hawk, but it seems like we're in the minority.
How deep were you? How deep did you go?
We've watched at least 5 or 6 of them.
Okay, and I've only watched. Have you watched the Hawk yet?
No, I actually have no idea what you guys are talking about.
The Hawk is Will Ferrell's.
Oh, the golf show.
The golf show.
I thought it was a movie, but it's actually a TV show.
Yeah,
so they have like 10 episodes.
It's a Netflix series. I'm going to watch number 2 tonight. We watched 1.
Are they all out right now?
Yes, it's all out.
Yeah, you can binge them. I watched 1. I didn't think it was very good, and then I talked to my buddies who watched a lot of them and didn't think it was very good. But I only watched one episode. Mm-hmm. It's just all right.
Did he lose his fastball?
Yeah,
Will Ferrell.
Yeah,
I thought it was pretty good. I mean, we weren't like. I mean, I'm not trying to say this is like Ted Lasso.
But you're 5 in. You're 5. You're 5
but episodes. we're gonna. I'm sure we'll finish it.
Yeah. I'm gonna watch number 2 tonight. Just to get a feel for it. But
is he the golfer?
He's the golfer. Okay. So he's this journeyman. He's a 3-time major champion.
He's an over the hill.
But he's an over the hill journeyman who's like trying to work his way back up. His son is like one of the rising stars on tour.
Interesting.
He's in a massive like battle with his wife Molly Shannon, but they're basically like getting a divorce.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of like there's a lot of hilarious like side characters.
Yeah.
He has a whole thing with his caddy, which is not to spoil anything, but so it's like his caddy plays a big role in this. But I mean, again, we just were like, we're looking when you watch something with Will Ferrell, we're not putting the bar very high here.
Right.
We're looking for like light entertainment with a few, nice chuckles along the way. And I think it definitely has delivered that, at least for us. Like I said, we have both liked it.
Yeah. So I only watched one episode. I know they're trying to make the son unlikable. He's really unlikable in the first episode. So we'll see. Well, I'll go at least 2 or 3 deep tonight. So we'll let you know. I wanted it to be great. I mean, I want it to be great.
When you hear Will Ferrell comedy in a sport, you're like, oh man, it goes back to Talladega Nights or whatever, the one where he's ice skating in the back. Yeah,
that's why I was surprised. It's a TV show. Yeah, I thought the Hawk was going to be like 90-minute comedy.
Yeah,
and but yeah, I will say this: in terms of physical comedy, he absolutely still has his face.
Okay,
yeah. So
I mean, there's a couple of things he wears.
Yeah.
Like his whole way he presents himself as this character.
I agree with that.
Like
you can tell
definitely got the physical comedy.
Anytime he takes his shirt off, I love it.
Yeah, and
it's just terrible body.
Yeah, and that's the best. And again, I've told you the story before. He kind of rescued us, as I've told you many times, because when Suzanne and I walked out of the worst movie ever made in the history of movie making, $1 Million Baby.
My God.
It was the worst thing that ever. It's
an abomination.
It's the worst thing that ever happened to cinema. Maybe the worst thing that ever happened to the world.
It's amazing. I'm still not in a padded room having watched that movie.
It was such a despicable. I've told this story many times, JJ. I'm not making it up. It was such a horrible movie. Suzanne and I walked out of there so depressed. We turned right back around, went in and watched Kicking and Screaming just to get I had to just get the depression off me. It was like it was
now,
stuck
was
to
it
me.
the part
I was
where
pushing it.
Is it the part where she's
on the
hit in the head and she's from the neck down paralyzed, or is it when Clint Eastwood kills her?
Right.
And then her family completely steals everything from her.
Yeah,
it's real.
Which part did you not like?
The first 2 hours are great.
Movie.
The first 2 hours are wonderful. The last 20-30 minutes,
horrible.
And the funny thing is, we discovered this kind of because it won Best Picture.
Yeah,
and
it was terrible.
We were doing the show one time, and somebody that was on either talking to us in a break or was on said, was talking about how much they loved it, and literally at the same time, we both were like, "This is the worst movie I've ever seen."
Ever. It was. I mean, they should have shut down the movie industry. Yeah. I mean, it was just. I
haven't forgiven Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, and
I still haven't seen Gran Torino, which everybody loves, but I am scarred from $1 Million Baby.
And Gran Torino, by the way, was really good.
Yes.
It doesn't change though that $1 Million Baby saw. But I'm not making the story up. We walked back in and watched Kicking and Screaming just to get the depression off our skin.
And that's a good.
That was a good plan because I did not do that.
Yeah, it was awful.
Awful.
Let's take a break.
It makes 7 look like Airplane.
You know what? It was more depressing than 7.
Holy crap.
It was more depressing than The Box.
Yeah.
It was more
depressing. Because at least in 7, you're building up to a conclusion that might not go everybody's way.
And you know it's a horrific horror movie.
Right. Yeah, this, I feel like I'm watching Rocky. And
until it's the worst movie of all time.
And then they cripple Rocky and Adrian steals all of his money.
Right. So we'll take a break. Let's talk Jags camp. Storylines, what we're looking forward to. There's great energy as the Jags get set to embark on what might be a pretty cool season. That's how we'll start the program. We do want to thank our friends from The Best Bet. Always a Best Bet Monday around here. This is 1010 XL on 92.5 FM.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
I'm Martin Truex Jr.
Martin Truex wins the Coca-Cola 600.
And you're listening to 1010 XL, Jack Sports Radio.
In the game of vehicle performance and reliability, Atlantic Infinity is always the top pick. This is Hayes Carlyon. Did you know that every certified pre-owned Infinity is inspected, factory backed, with a limited warranty, and gets the same championship level service as a brand new Infinity? Every mile will feel like first class. Check out their full certified inventory now at AtlanticInfinity.com or visit Atlantic Infinity off Atlantic near St. John's Bluff.
Frank Frangie here from my friend and insurance agent, Craig Dewhurst. Craig has been helping families on the First Coast with their insurance needs for 25 years as your good neighbor and local State Farm agent. Now's a great time to review your insurance policies, whether you need auto, homeowners, or renter's insurance, or insurance for your golf cart, boat, or jet skis. Craig handles all of my family's insurance needs, and even better, he gives back to the community. Call Craig today at 904-940-9740. That's 904-940-9740.
Film study and preparation, injuries and fan expectation. Get the perspective of an elite athlete. Patrick Young has breakfast with the drill Friday morning at 8:30. Tipped off by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and Kuhn Flowers on 1010XL.
Frank Frangie here. I've been telling you about Stanley Pools for years. But you know my favorite thing about this family-owned company? They take such good care of my pool. All I have to do is relax and enjoy it. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and their weekly maintenance makes owning a pool effortless. You can trust Stanley Pools to build your pool or upgrade it. They've done both for me. Call 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Hey Jacksonville, this is Lauren Brooks. Here's one more reason to go to Big Chief Tire. When you buy tires, you're automatically enrolled in their Extra Mile program, giving you ongoing benefits like $10 off every oil change, free tire rotation, free air checks, and more. It's Big Chief Tire's way of rewarding local customers with real savings long after the sale. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com to learn more about their Extra Mile program today.
Frank Frangie here for my friends at Coyle Fencing. You've heard me talk about our Bregan baseball complex with walk-off charities and we needed a batter's eye. Nobody knew how to do it. Coyle figured it out, and it is great. Since then, Coyle & Sons has completed hundreds of projects, including most recently our football fields at Fort Family Park. The bottom line is they do everything. They do it well. It looks great. I trust Coyle & Sons. You can too. Since 1927, they've been getting it right. CoyleJacks.com, C-O-Y-L-E Jacks.com. That's where you find them. A proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The best value for golf in Jacksonville remains Cimarron, totally reestablished with new tee boxes, improved fairways and greens, also a brand new restaurant with indoor and outdoor settings, and live music. Join the Wild One loyalty program online at Cimarron Golf. When's the last time you played Cimarron? Cimarron Golf Club on 210, the Wild One.
This is Jeff Middlecoff with Cogent Bank. My associate Ryan Salem and I joined Cogent Bank because we wanted to revolutionize the mortgage business, just like Cogent Bank has revolutionized the banking business. So Ryan Salem and I are able to leverage the power and stability of Cogent Bank to go out and find our clients the best investors, the best products, and the best rates in the entire country for your particular mortgage loan. Of course, you don't have to be a customer at Cogent Bank to take advantage of our mortgage services to buy or refinance your home. We offer jumbo loans, VA, FHA, conventional, and investment loans. At Cogent Bank, we offer mortgages nationwide, so we can help you with a second home or help a family member who lives or is moving to another state. Call Ryan Salem or myself, Jeff Middlecoff, at Cogent Bank today, 904-442-9191, to see how we can help you with any of your mortgage loan needs, whatever or wherever they may be.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, Cogent Bank, NMLS ID 402296, Ryan Salem, NMLS ID 1182429, Jeff Middlecoff, NMLS ID 249086.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
We appreciate our friends from the Best Bet. The Lips Poker Series is this week at Best Bet Jacksonville from July 31st all the way through August 2nd. So it's coming up. Coming up in 4 days, the Lips Poker Series. That's at Best Bet Jacksonville on Monument Road. And, of course, there's two other great locations. St. Augustine, just off of I-95 in the Orange Park location, is off US 17. Frank Frangie, Hayes Carline, JJ LaSelva with you. Band back together today. Again, boys, I will be armed with Bonos tomorrow. And we'll celebrate a ridiculous 28 in a row. Just want to say that one more time. Miss of a cut.
Only one more golf event left, though.
One more golf. And I think we're really going down to a couple more events, period. Because we don't do football a lot.
Yeah, that's
we do the picks contest.
Yeah. We have, but I think
defending champ, by the way.
I think, yes, you are. And you earned it. I think we may do home runs in the World Series home runs. Something like that.
So only 2 events left.
I think unless I'm missing one.
No, I think you're right.
I think it's something like that. Something like that. Storylines for you, obviously. Let's get through the obvious ones. Cole Van Lannon was put on the PUP list, so he can come off that at any time. There's not a timetable there, but at least now he's not going to be available. Chris Rodriguez, we don't know. We know he had an injury. They kept him out of a lot of the OTAs and the mini camps, or all the OTAs and the mini camps. Travis Hunter, we're just watching. We all know he's in great shape. He's spoken with the media. He's around. We'll see how quickly they kind of get him back involved and in what capacity. So those are the three off the top of my head. They're the injury-related ones. What else has your attention as we get set for Wednesday morning?
Yeah, I think just see the rhythm and continuity offensively that they displayed in OTAs. Does that carry over? The decisiveness of Trevor, the diversification of weaponry, and illustrating all of that throughout every practice. It wasn't just him targeting the same guy 15 times. Like, we have seen, whether it was Christian Kirk or Evan Ingram, or even last year with I can't remember the guy's name that they brought in from Washington that didn't make an impact.
Oh,
what was that guy's name?
De'Ami Brown.
De'Ami Brown.
Yeah.
Frank, how can you forget De'Ami Brown?
Yeah, so I was I was hoping you'd come up with that very quickly.
Yeah. So I was impressed with at each OTA that I saw. It was 4 targets to Parker, 5 targets to BTJ, 5 targets to Jacoby Myers, a handful of targets to the tight ends. So I mean, I think you want to see that, because that, I think, is what really could make them special from trying to defend them, is since they don't have that one just alpha superstar in the passing game, but they've got like 5 guys that are A-minuses. It's just going to be hard to cover all that. And so, yeah, that's probably the number one thing for me, is just seeing the overall flow, because I was really impressed with how locked in they were in that regard throughout OTAs, which is normally a period of sloppiness.
Yeah, the most, again, what you like the most, or what I like the most, or what we all do, is when they get to hit, in large part because football's hitting. I think we all like that part of the game. But beyond that, the way the NFL is structured is you don't get to hit from the last game you play until your 3rd or 4th day of real training camp. So that's January 4th if you're not in the playoffs. It's January 15th or whatever if you are in the playoffs. And if you're not in the Hall of Fame game, you don't hit again until August. So it's for fans that's what football is. Physicality is what the game is. So there's a little bit. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. There's a lot of storylines for me that will certainly develop as the camp goes along. I do want to see, number one, how they employ or deploy the tight end position. Are we going to see a lot of that 2 tight end set and 3 tight end set with Brenton Strange off the line of scrimmage and Nate Borkicher on it? Tanner Koziel was more of an OTA minicamp star than Borkicher, because Borkicher's big thing is blocking and being physical and playing physically, and Koziel's a go down the field, catch the ball guy. So I think everybody in that building knew Koziel would really shine more in the non-contact phase, and Borkicher, they drafted him to be a blocking tight end among others. So I'm looking at how they deploy those guys. I think is interesting to me. I want to watch the offensive line stuff. I assume they'll open camp with Walker Little as their left tackle, with Cole Van Lanen not available, which, again, he's on the PUP list. We'll see how long that lasts. But with Walker Little at the left tackle, it's going to be Cleveland and Hainsey and McCary and Anton Harrison to start. But everybody has high hopes for the 3 inside guys, Hayes. They've got high hopes for Pregnon, who just got here, is the left guard. Monheim, when he had to go in and play center, played very well last year. And Wyatt Milam's a guy they drafted very high, who they expect to be a good football player. So those 3 interior spots, my guess is when the Cleveland Browns come to town in September, it'll be the 3 veterans. That's the good money bet, right? That's how they're going to. I would imagine the first 11 on 11 snap they take Wednesday. That's how it's going to look, right? But it's intriguing, isn't it, that you have 3 guys, you have 3 backups, 3 very young drafted backups, who everybody to a man in that building would tell you will one day start for the Jacksonville Jaguars, playing behind 3 veterans. So how that whole thing, and hopefully everybody stays healthy, but how that's a really interesting position to me.
It's incredibly interesting because of the number of candidates you have there. It's just rare. And Liam Cohen and James Gladstone deserve credit for, how they have fortified that line, because you just don't often. Normally you've got maybe 6 or 7 guys that you feel pretty good about. And then if you have to get to guy 8, you're just, that's a Hail Mary that player can give you serviceable contributions. But because of where they drafted Pregnon and Milam, Monheim not so much. He was 7th round, but he's played well. He's flashed, so you've seen it. You haven't seen it as much with Milam, and you haven't seen it, obviously, at all with Pregnon because he's a rookie. But that's a lot of good bets. I mean, the probability that a 3rd-round guard is going to be a pretty good player is, I'd say, high. If you had to make a bet in the NFL when it comes to the NFL draft, if I had to make one, it wouldn't be, well, I'll take a receiver in the top 10 or I'll take a quarterback in the 1st round. It would be, give me a guard in the 3rd round because those guys just tend to last a while in the league for whatever reason. And so, I would think that with the veterans that you mentioned, again, for most teams, not having your left tackle start on PUP would be a massive concern, almost in any other market. It really isn't here because Walker Little has played really more football than Cole Van Lanen, but certainly there isn't I wouldn't think, chasm between the two guys. And and so in looking at it, they're going to have a lot of great battles, and it's certainly Cleveland rose to the occasion last year. Hainsey had just arrived, McCary had just arrived, but I would expect McCary to have the kind of camp that we saw out of Ezra Cleveland last year, because it's a big camp for him. Yeah. I mean, if Pregnon, Milam, if they're going to win the tie because they're younger and they're cheaper and they're going to be here longer. So for those veterans that you mentioned, yeah, it's very motivating because you've got a legitimate understudy that could take the role.
All right, think about this for a second. Let's assume for today, Cole Van Lanen was totally healthy. Just stay with me here. If Cole Van Lanen is completely healthy, and we assume he's their starting left tackle, okay? Their backup 5. Okay, this is your backup. Walker Little, your left tackle. Pregnon, your left guard. Monheim, your center. Milam, your right guard. Chuma Edoga, your right tackle. That's your backup. I can tell you in the 32 years I've followed this franchise, the backup 5 has never felt like that.
Never had that.
Never. And most teams in the league, it never will. I mean, Chuma Edoga is the guy they went and got from Dallas, former USC player. Once upon a time, a 3rd-round draft pick. There's still some, and he's still in his 20s. This isn't some old ancient journeyman. This is a guy with a lot of potential that had some moment. If you remember last year, he was that 6th offensive lineman a lot. Well, you got to be able to run to do that, right? I mean, if you're going to be the sort of tight end when you go 6 offensive lineman, and they used him a lot in that role last year. So, so we'll see. So that position is very interesting to me. The other one, they're all interesting to me. We're going to talk about Will linebacker, and does Ventrell Miller hold off Branson Combs, or is it in 2 down short yardage situations, it's Ventrell Miller, and in passing situations, Branson Combs, which would be my guess, by the way. There's a lot of safeties fighting for jobs. There's Antonio Johnson, who had a great year, who's now in a contract year, playing back there with the veteran Eric Murray, and obviously there's a lot of numbers. There's a lot of numbers. Okay. But the defensive tackle spot, as much as any to me, the D tackle spot, does Eric Armstead have much left? Does Matt Dickerson really become the 3 technique against the run? Does Albert Regis factor in as a first-year player? You know what Devon Hamilton is on the other side. And again, I don't know how much of that we'll learn in preseason, but that's the other one that's really got my attention.
Yeah, I think Armstead he's an X factor for the season because they don't have much there, but he's obviously had a great career, and you just hope that there's one more good season left in the body. And it seems like he's pretty optimistic that there is. But that's a big key. That's a point of critical mass for this football team, is that interior defensive tackle spot. We've identified it from basically the time they walked off the field and the loss to Buffalo, that was going to be the number one thing this offseason. And, really they didn't put much to it because I'm not expecting much out of Regis in year 1. If it happens, that's great.
I agree with that.
But I'm not expecting to be dazzled. And so, yeah, I think Armstead is a big X factor. Because if he doesn't have much left, or he gets hurt or something, then yeah, I think they get pretty easy to block.
The pass rushing from that spot is the big question. Matt Dickerson can go in there and play the run. He actually did pretty well last year. But I mean, he actually was their starting 3 technique and if they were in base. But can Eric Armstead push the pocket a little bit? To your point, does Regis or anybody else affect that position as a pass rusher? In nickel, Trayvon will probably be down. My guess is in nickel, that's what you're going to see. My guess is in nickel, you're going to see Gardeck outside with Josh Hines, Allen, and Trayvon down. Wouldn't you think?
I think that's
toward the end of last year is what you saw.
I think that's their best look. That if I was the opposing offensive coordinator, that is the look that would give me the most fear.
And it's the one I would expect to see. So certainly. So there's a lot of positions. And the final thing we'll talk a great deal about it. By the way, what's your expectation for Travis Hunter?
I think he's going to be extraordinary.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know that, but I mean, how soon will he be practicing?
I would think
both sides of the ball.
This is what I'd say to that. I put stock in how early do they put guys on the podium in training camp. I was very encouraged that Travis Hunter is going day 3. This Friday, Travis Hunter is speaking to the media after practice.
Right.
And again, they only do like 1 player a day, so it's not like 20 guys are available. I mean, anybody can ask for a one-on-one, but in terms of guys that they send up to the podium to meet with the gaggle of reporters, it's traditionally 1 player a day. So the fact that Travis Hunter is speaking on day 3 tells me that he must be pretty much all systems go, because you wouldn't want to put him up there if he's still working off to the side or not really doing much. And even though those first 3 days or acclimation days, you're still going to be able to tell if he's not doing everything. So I thought that was a great sign. I thought it was a great sign that Jordan Lewis is on the 5th day. He talks Monday.
Yep.
And he's a really big part of this. That injury last year was devastating for that defense. And so to have Jordan Lewis back, the fact that he's talking on Monday, I think is a great sign as well. But I think Travis Hunter is going to be all systems go.
I'll say this about Travis Hunter. I know he fishes a lot in the offseason. Found the weight room in the offseason. That's pretty clear, isn't it? Not that he didn't find it before, but he found the weight room in the offseason.
I mean, I'm sure
he really looks as good a player as he looked like he was going to be last year if he got hurt. He did look really small. He looked really. I mean, the first time I saw him at practice, I was like, oh, this guy's a little dude. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And he doesn't look like a little dude.
And I'm sure. I mean, obviously, we understand his competitiveness is off the charts to accomplish what he did at Colorado and winning the Heisman, playing both ways. I'm sure you talk about players with an edge coming into this season.
Right.
I would think Travis Hunter is very high on that list. When you look at that locker room, I'm sure he was livid about his rookie season getting cut short as soon as it did.
Training camp starts on Wednesday. We'll be out there. Our programs in the morning will be out there. Dan and Jeff and Mike will all be, and Mike and Tony will all be out there. So we're all looking forward to it. Training camp a day and a half away, and we're very excited about it. Let's keep it on the NFL, Hayes. Let's talk a little bit about the quarterback situation around the league. Who's healthy, who's not. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
Everybody loves what's happening at Beard's Diamonds this month. Up to 40% off store-wide at their annual Christmas and July sale. But you need to hurry. The event ends at the end of the month. Hurry in to see all the amazing deals up to 40% off, and that includes engagement rings, fashion rings, earrings, bracelets, bands, pendants. This is the annual store-wide sale that everybody loves because you get December prices like Christmas. If you're getting engaged this summer, now's your chance to get a bigger, better quality diamond. Or maybe it's time to treat yourself to a fabulous fashion ring, necklace, or bracelet. Don't forget, Beards is the town center's locally owned diamond superstore. Say hi to the Lupos when you go in. Don't settle for the corporate chain store experience when you can get the value, service, and attention you deserve. Don't miss Christmas in July exclusively at Beards Diamonds at the St. John's Town Center. I say shop local, shop Beards Diamonds. Hurry, though, the offer ends at the end of July and will not be extended. Beards Diamonds.
Look no further, folks. I've found the best wings in Jacksonville. Frank Frangie here. Bono's Barbecue now has the best wings, and my new go-to wing flavors are garlic parm and lemon pepper. Nothing cools you down this summer like their new strawberry lemonade. So head to Bono's today and get 6 wings and a side for $10.99 or a 10-wing basket for just $15.99. But hurry, this deal ends July 31st. To find a Bono's near you, head to bonosbarbecue.com. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
post-game Monday on 1010XL. Served by Dandy Foods. Duval runs on Dandy.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Renewal by Anderson is celebrating America's 250th anniversary by giving $250 off every window and door. Plus, 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months. You're getting American craftsmanship and their signature service. This offer ends July 31st. Renewal by Anderson, proud partners of the Florida Gators. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
Turn up the shine with the Gate Express Car Wash Sizzlin' Summer Sale. Buy one graphene wash and get a second one for just $10. That's a $20 savings. Visit your nearest Gate Express Car Wash today.
Hey, I'll be home in about 10 minutes. Actually, make it 8.
Hey, Mom. Yep, I'm walking home now. Mom, I'm trying to cross, but I don't think this driver sees me. No, they're driving too fast. Mom!
Speeding catches up with you. Early, on time, a little late, just get there safely. A message from the Florida Department of Transportation's Target Zero initiative.
Today's vehicles are smarter than ever, but that also means they need more precision than ever. Features like lane assist, collision warning, and adaptive cruise control all rely on cameras, sensors, part of what's called ADAS. And if those systems are even slightly off, they might not work correctly. That's why, after certain repairs, your vehicle will need ADAS calibration. At G&H Tires and Service, they have the ADAS system, so your vehicle's safety features work the way they're supposed to. Don't guess with your safety. G&H Tires and Service. Precision that protects.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. Awaken 180 clients have just reached the 1 million pounds down mark. 1 million pounds. A city of people. That's thousands of people who reclaim their lives the easy way, the medication-free way. What's stopping you? Awaken180weightloss.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
Remember now, folks, this is the last week to get those entries in to win that all-terrain vehicle from Best Bet St. Augustine. Every hour every hour played earns an entry, and the grand prize and the cash giveaways happen on August 8th. So you want to win that all-terrain vehicle from Best Bet St. Augustine. Get down there and start playing. Frank, Frangie, Hayes, Carline, JJ LaSelva with you. So Patrick Mahomes is going to play in a brace, but the ACL doesn't look like it's keeping him out. Daniel Jones, who blew the Achilles, said today he's totally fine. We'll see, but it's what he said. Are we entering the season with about as healthy a crop of quarterbacks? And, I mean, teams that feel like feel comfortable with their starter. I mean, Malik Willis may be terrible in Miami, but it's teams that
But he's their guy.
But he's their guy. But teams that feel good about their guy. Does it feel that way to you?
Yeah, I don't think there's really much in terms of competition. I mean, I guess you could still throw out the Vikings, but everybody thinks it's going to be Kyler Murray.
And Brissett's going to keep the seat warm for Beck or whoever.
Yeah, and I mean, and that's just an utter debacle in terms of what the expectations are in Arizona. So, yeah, I mean, in terms of, great races or battles in camp, I don't think you're going to see very many of them. And certainly the teams that consider themselves contenders are all very much locked in with who their guy is.
Yeah, so I think they feel pretty good. Let's start with Mahomes. What are your expectations for Mahomes? Will he be? What do you think? I know we're not doctors. Kevin Kaplan will be in here with us closer to the season, but what do you think?
I think he'll be okay enough. I trust his maniacal nature will apply to the rehab of the knee. So I would imagine that. And again, I don't think they put the Chiefs in primetime in week 1 unless they were given pretty much 100% assurance, because that just then the whole game is sullied. I mean, and you lose the excitement. You could have picked a million games to have that. I mean, obviously that's facetious, but you could have picked many other games. You didn't have to pick. I think it's Denver, KC, Monday Night Football Week 1. But so I think they've had assurances that he was very much on schedule or even ahead of schedule. I don't like their weapons still, so I still think they're going to have issues with Mahomes having to do probably too much. But he's a great player, and he's proven he can do that. But obviously last year was very disappointing, going 6-11. So I think they'll be better, but I think the days of the Chiefs being clearly the best team and having that mystique, I think that's over.
I agree with that. I think the Chiefs bounce back. But to what you just said, I think they bounce back, Hayes. But I don't think they bounce back to where they're this unbeatable Goliath that they were for a number of years. So no, I don't think that. But I'll bet they're pretty good. Playoffs, yes or no for the Chiefs?
I'm going to say I would have said no, but then we had this. We kind of picked the first 4 games of the season, and this was me, JJ Hack, and O'Halloran, and we had them going 4-0. So not to say that that's what they're going to do, and certainly their schedule could get tougher. But if they get off to a hot start and build that confidence, I don't see the Chiefs just unraveling. So I'll say the Chiefs go maybe 10-7 and they're like the 6th seed maybe in the AFC is sort of what my expectation is for them.
Yeah.
And that is not a guy you want walking into your stadium on wild card weekend.
That's the thing. Exactly right. All right, let's talk some other quarterback stuff. What happens with Baker Mayfield? He wasn't nearly as good without Liam Cohen there. He's in the final season of a big deal. He wants $50 a year. They're not happy with each other, he and the franchise. What happens in Tampa?
I think you're seeing that Baker Mayfield, if given a great coach, play caller, can really, really thrive in the NFL. But absent it, isn't good enough to overcome it. And again, that's not a knock on him.
Yeah.
That's what the vast majority of some players, even with great coaching, aren't very good players. But I do think that we're having to reassess Baker Mayfield in light of seeing what Liam Cohen has done here and seeing how much Mayfield struggled. I mean, Mayfield 26 touchdown passes, 11 picks last year.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
certainly
nothing
and it was
to
really
write home about.
It was really worse in the second half of the season.
Yeah, and I know he's been very open in this Netflix quarterback series about, he played through a bunch of injuries, and I'm certain that's there. But I think Baker Mayfield, to me, is outside the top 15 starting quarterbacks of the NFL now.
Can Tua beat out Michael Penix in Atlanta?
He could. A lot of it will depend on where Penix is in his recovery.
Correct.
But I think when Penix is healthy, it will be Penix. So I think the only way Tua plays is if Penix isn't ready.
You brought it up a minute ago. Kyler Murray, the veteran who struggled and hasn't struggled. J.J. McCarthy, who looks like, I don't want to say a bust, but he's not there yet. What happens? What happens as that season plays on?
I think it's Kyler Murray, and I don't think it's going to take O'Connell very long to make that determination. I just think J.J. McCarthy is aloof, hasn't really shown the quality. I mean, this is from an outsider's perspective, but it seems like he doesn't really get what it means, like the position that he has and the work that you got to put in. And, I think Kyler Murray is not anything sensational, but I do think he's a competent starting quarterback. So if it's a battle and Kyler Murray's getting there at 5 a.m. and J.J. McCarthy is, not really endearing himself by his work ethic, then I think my guess is in that building, they already know it's Kyler Murray week 1 and they know they made a mistake. But we'll see how long the charade goes on for.
On opening day, when the Browns leave Lake Erie, they get on that plane, or that charter is what they're going to get on. They're going to fly down here. They're going to land at JIA, get on a bus, like 5 buses, and drive into Jacksonville. And they're going to run out of the tunnel with those white uniforms and those orange helmets. Is it Deshaun Watson? Is it Shedeur Sanders? What are they going to do?
I think it's Deshaun Watson. I think Todd Monken is Monken strikes me, you could speak to this better than I could, but Monken strikes me as like one of those no-nonsense guys that's going to bring Deshaun Watson in and basically say, clean slate. you and me, let's start this fresh. Who knows where it goes in a year, but you've played a lot of good football in this league. You know, I've been in this league a while. Let's shock the world together. And it seems like that resonated. It seemed like that for whatever reason, Watson and Monken hit it off. And so I think it's going to be, I would be shocked if it's not Deshaun Watson.
I think you're
shocked.
Your assessment of what I think Monk will be there is exactly right. It'll be a clean slate, but don't screw up. Older coaches everybody wants this, but older coaches really mandate be a pro. Show up and be a pro. Act like a pro. To your point about Kyler Murray, act like who's maybe more professional. J.J. McCarthy, same thing here. Final quarterback question for you. When owner, head coach, offensive coordinator, and quarterbacks coach Tom Brady makes a decision in Las Vegas, is that Kirk Cousins, I guess, starts the season. But how long till they give the ball to Mendoza?
I would think it could be a fairly long time
could be a while,
for
you think,
Mendoza. Huh? Not that I don't expect the Raiders to contend, but with a 17-game schedule, I mean, you can still in week 8 or 9 absolutely still be in it, even if you haven't gotten off to the best start. So I would think somewhere around maybe post-Thanksgiving.
You think? Huh?
You go to Mendoza, something like that. And
I'll bet he goes way earlier.
And it certainly could be.
Yeah.
But I think Kirk Cousins, I mean, some of it depends on what is it a Mendoza timeline, and as soon as he's ready, he's going in no matter how Cousins is playing. I don't think Cousins is going to struggle. He's going to target Brock Bowers. Kirk Cousins is a very smart player.
Is he good, Bowers?
Is
he good?
Brock Bowers is going to get 20 targets a game from Kirk Cousins.
He's so good.
And Kirk Cousins is going to know when to check the ball down to Genty. So, like, Cousins, I think, in how he plays and knowing the situation, I think he can move the offense consistently enough to where if he gets benched, it's not that he's playing bad. It's just they feel like Mendoza's ready. But you got to be careful with that, because if the Raiders are having a better than expected start and Cousins is playing well, you can't really go to Mendoza because you don't want to alienate, the veterans in your locker room. So there's a little bit of a balancing act, but I would be surprised if Cousins falls apart and then in like week 4, I don't think it'll be like Chad Henne, Blake Bortles, where it was like the veteran fell apart right out of the gate and the plan to wait on playing Bortles had to evaporate because Henne was struggling so bad. I don't think Kirk Cousins will have that kind of a start to the year. So that's why I think it could be a little bit longer. But even if it's post-Thanksgiving, you can still give Mendoza a good, 6 starts, which should give them a pretty good indicator of what they have and should give Mendoza all the, tape he needs to review in the offseason.
When Kyle Pitts played for Florida, he was a really good college player. Now, he out-jumped people, and he was tall and long, and in the NFL, it really hasn't translated as much. I'm still not sure it's over for him, but it didn't translate as much. Brock Bowers was a really good player at Georgia. Honest to God, and maybe I missed it. I mean, I watched Florida-Georgia. I didn't see him in person, but I didn't realize how freaking fast he is. For people that missed it against the Jags last year, 12 catches, 127 yards, 3 touchdowns. And
it's incredible.
It looked like he was running 100 miles an hour. I mean, I didn't remember that as a collegian. Did you? I mean, it shocked me. Now, I don't play fantasy, but it shocked me how fast. Not how good he was, how fast he was. Did you notice that as well?
Yeah, I mean, he's tremendous. There's a reason. I mean, we don't see tight ends get taken that high up in the first round very often. You've got to be a really special talent, and Brock Bowers is certainly that. And that's the thing, like. Geno Smith has had moments where he's been productive in the NFL.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins is a better player. And so,
no question.
Yeah, I think, for him to do that last year with Geno Smith in terms of Bowers, I would think that, I mean, again, Kirk Cousins is going to know his bread is buttered with Bowers.
We'll take a break. Hayes has headlines after this. It's 1010 at 92.5 FM.
It's The Ride Home with The Frangie Show. From the Harrell and Harrell studio, don't settle for less than you deserve.
1010 XL. Home of the Florida Gators.
Summertime is here, and that means it's grilling season. Now, before you overpay at the big box stores, make a stop at Houston's Meat Company on Main Street in Jacksonville. For more than 50 years, Houston's has been Jacksonville's local butcher shop, serving up quality meats, incredible prices, and the kind of service you just can't find at the grocery chain. Steaks, burgers, chicken, ribs, whatever's on the grill this weekend, Houston's has you covered. Shop local, grill better. Follow Houston's Meats on social for updated weekly specials.
I'm Holt Harrell with Harrell & Harrell. Choosing a law firm after an accident is an important decision. With so many messages, we know it can all sound the same. At Harrell & Harrell, we believe what sets us apart is our commitment to you. We'll help you find doctors to get you better, and we'll work hard to maximize any recovery. Visit our website and look at our reviews to see how we've helped people just like you make this important decision. Harrell & Harrell. Offices, Jacksonville.
Sent in, and Sporting Jacks breaks through first.
For the latest on Jacksonville's pro soccer teams, join the Sporting Jacks Coaches Show, presented by Honda of the Avenues, every Tuesday night at 6 on 1010 AM and 1010XL.com.
Want to be the host everyone talks about this football season? Invite friends, clients, family, or employees to River City Railway. Private rail cars with everything you need. AC, TVs, private bathrooms, parking, and an unforgettable atmosphere just steps from the stadium. Own the season with a full season rail car, or reserve one for the biggest Jag game of the year. Food and open bar included. Don't just tailgate, railgate. Reserve today at rivercityrailway.com.
Tom McMahon is here for Armstrong Fence Company, a locally owned First Coast business for nearly 20 years. Hurricane season is here. Don't wait for the first storm warning. The fence is your first line of defense. Loose boards, weak posts, or damage can turn into big problems when high winds come around. Armstrong Fence Company handles repairs and builds from stadiums to backyards. Get a pre-storm fence check today. Call Armstrong Fence Company or search online. Armstrong Fence Company. Yeah, we did the fence.
Make Capital Glass and Shower Doors your premier choice for top quality glass solutions. With over 40 years of expertise, their team specializes in commercial and residential projects. From elegant shower doors to modern frameless enclosures, they've got you covered. But that's not all. They also offer glass railing systems, glass wine cabinets, and much more. For unmatched quality and service, choose Capital Glass and Shower Doors. Your vision, their expertise. Visit online at capcoglass.com.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Multi-unit hair grafting is now available at IHRS and can give you 3 times more hair in one procedure over a traditional hair transplant.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
You can grow your hair back with this exclusive new procedure. Call now for your free evaluation and see if multi-unit hair grafting or PRP can restore your hair. Call 904-777-IHRS.
My bald spots are gone. Thanks, IHRS.
IHRS is the only clinic in the Southeast to offer all proven solutions to restore your hair and is now offering multi-unit hair grafting. One procedure, more hair.
You've got nothing to lose but more hair. I feel younger, I look younger, and who doesn't want to feel better about themselves?
This year, grow your hair back. Call for a free evaluation. Call IHRS 904-777-IHRS 777-4477.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round.
It's Hayes' Headlines, presented by Harrell & Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hayes Carline.
Welcome back to the Frangie Show. We've got Frangie. We've got new dad, JJ LaSelva. I am Hayes Carline. Thank you to our friends at Harrell & Harrell. Give them a call at 251-1111. Frank, let's start with the Jaguars. The team has announced left tackle Cole Van Lanen will start on the PUP list as he recovers from a knee injury sustained late last season. So Walker Little It's another chance to impress, at least for the time being.
Yeah, I wonder, I don't know this, but I wonder with a totally healthy Van Lanen, if he had had no problems at all, if Walker Little's a guy they would have moved before the draft. I thought both he, and I said this on the air, that I thought both he and Mason Smith would be in play for that. They did move Mason Smith. They didn't move Walker, so I wonder about that. But yeah, Walker Little's a pretty good player. And I'll say this, when he had to come in and play guard last year, he was good. And he wasn't just okay or serviceable. He was a good guard, which means he can play a lot of spots. So, yeah, Walker Little won't easily give that up. If he has a really good camp, I think it's Cole Van Lanen's job. You don't usually lose a job with an injury, but competition's good.
Let's give you a reminder that the Jaguars have 10 total open practices available. It's free. You can go to jaguars.com and register. But they have tickets, and again, we want on Wednesday when everybody's out there for the first time. You'd love to see it packed.
Yeah, pack the place. And listen, it's going to be a special year, and you haven't seen football in a long time. Go watch the Jaguars. It's fun. I really enjoy going to training camp. It's fun. It's fun to watch.
Let's get to around the NFL. Patrick Mahomes has been cleared for full football activity. What's your optimism level for Mahomes?
I think you said it best. He's such a grinder, and I think, and one of the things I want to ask Kevin Kaplan when he starts coming in closer to the season, it just seems like medicine's better than ever. Bracing and surgeries and rehab is better than ever. He had an ACL and he's back. Daniel Jones blew an Achilles and he's back. That just wasn't the way it was. So, and by the way, I want the Jags to win the Super Bowl, which means I want them to do very well in the playoff picture in the American Football Conference. I realize that Patrick Mahomes is in that same conference, but I hope he's healthy. Football is better when Patrick Mahomes is out there running around playing. I really believe that.
49ers coach Kyle Shanahan involved in a serious car accident on July 14th in which he suffered broken ribs, a severe concussion, and required over 40 stitches on his face. He will be limited in training camp for San Francisco.
Yeah, thank God he's okay.
Yeah.
I think the most important thing is thank God he's okay. It was a scary thing. You know, there's a lot of discussion about how the 49ers kept that quiet for 10 days. That doesn't bother me at all. If you're trying to keep it quiet, and if I'm a beat guy and you say, listen, this is personal, it's personal with Kyle's personal with his family. A lot of people criticize the beat reporters. I don't agree with that at all. I think it's okay to help the team out a little bit. Nothing happened.
It's not like you got arrested and you're trying to hide it or something.
And it's also not like anything changes. He's still going to coach the team. So, but yeah, the good news is it looks like he's going to be okay.
Arizona has caved to quarterback Jacoby Brissett, bumping his pay $11 million for the season up to $15.5 million. It's bad news for backups Gardner Minshew and Carson Beck. The 33-year-old Brissett is in the final year of his deal with the Cardinals. He threw for 23 touchdowns and 8 interceptions last season for Arizona.
Yeah, it's probably bad news for Gardner for sure. Now, again, Kyler Murray's not there anymore. But I would imagine that Carson Beck, at worst, is on the practice squad. So,
he'll make the team. I just meant bad news from you're not going to probably play.
Try to win the job. Yeah. But it's certainly bad news for Gardner Minshew, who might have been their starter. I mean, I think if you're Gardner, who certainly is a very serviceable fill-in.
I'd have cut Brissett.
Yeah, you said that at the time, but it's certainly a very serviceable fill-in. It now looks like he won't be the starting quarterback.
Let's get to college football. The Gators are 9th in the SEC Media SEC preseason rankings. Were you surprised by that?
I was. And that's just my blatant orange and blue blood, I guess, talking. Once I saw the teams ahead of them, and I'm going to start the next segment talking about that, so I'll get into more detail then. But I did not expect it to be that low. I'm not saying it should be higher. I'm just saying I didn't expect it to be that low.
North Carolina puts general manager Michael Lombardi on administrative leave as the Belichick era just continues to deliver nothing but dividends on Chapel Hill.
Well said. Apparently it was an HR issue. So I'm guessing that Michael Lombardi, an old school, old style football guy, said something to somebody in the office you don't say. That'd be I have no idea.
I think that's a good guess.
I guess.
Let's get to the NBA.
Or he pissed Jordan off.
Yeah,
yeah, right.
Or that.
And we're not talking about Michael Jordan.
No.
The real Jordan.
Yeah. LeBron to the 76ers. Are you excited?
I am excited. I didn't know. We had this conversation. We didn't know what the motivation was. Was it to go home to Cleveland? Was it to go play with Steph, who's his buddy? We didn't know.
Did he want like a retirement tour with the Cavs?
Correct. We didn't know what the well, now you know the motivation. He's trying to win a title. Right. He's trying to win one more ring. And he made it clear. I say he made it clear. All those that write about Windhorst and all those guys that write about it said the Jaylen Brown deal is what sealed it. When they already had Maxey, who he really likes. They already had Embiid, who's one of the better big guys. When they went and got Jaylen Brown, he said, okay, now here's the thing. We might can go win the thing. And to JJ's point, it's in the weaker of the two conferences. So, yeah, I am.
And Jaylen Brown's going to have a hell of a chip on his shoulder this year.
Yeah,
with everything that transpired with Boston.
Great call. In addition to being a good player.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you. I think I didn't think anybody going to the Philadelphia 76ers, shy of it being Dr. J coming back, would excite me, but it kind of does.
This was really interesting, and a lot of the reporters that cover NBA and college basketball were tweeting about this last week, but it's worth mentioning. LeBron's making, 2-year contract, $8 million in total, so not a lot compared to what he's been making. So where LeBron's contract is with the 76ers, there are an estimated 20 college basketball players earning more than LeBron James will earn this season, and that includes Florida's Thomas Howell.
And that's phenomenal. Yeah, don't ruin the story by saying, oh, by the way, he's a billionaire.
Yeah.
And he's playing. Listen, it's a volunteer assignment, okay? Yeah, it's like the hospital volunteer. Hospital volunteers, they volunteer 3 times a week at the hospital. That's what this guy is. He's a hospital volunteer.
Let's get to the PGA Tour, the 3M Open. Jackson Koivon makes a statement that he won't need time getting acclimated to the big leagues. The 21-year-old Koivon dominated en route to a 3-stroke win at 25 under and just his 3rd start on the PGA Tour.
Buddy Alexander is the former head golf coach at Florida, is now the assistant at Auburn, and who's a really good golf coach. Said Koivon is maybe the best putter he's ever seen. So he's a really good player.
Have you seen his swing? Like, it's violent.
I love it. I love it.
I hope he's not, I hope that he eventually has a less violent swing, because I saw a lot of people tweeting out like, hey, Will Zalatoris vibes. He's eventually going to hurt himself.
Yeah, but
me and Frank always say with these guys who throw really hard, like, well, he's going to have Tommy John.
Yeah, it's coming. And
this kid is awesome.
Yeah, it was fun watching. And I will say, it's hard not to root for Scheffler because he's a guy we know. I thought if Scheffler had eagled 18, he birdied it. If he had eagled 18,
put the pressure on the kid.
Well, then you're 2. Then he's up 2 with about 4 to play. And so it'd have been interesting to see what happened.
Yeah, Scheffler, a bridesmaid again, finishing at 22 under. He's been the runner-up 5 times this season. Despite just 1 win, Scheffler leads the tour money list with $16.9 million, $3 million more than number 2, Cameron Young.
Yeah, pretty amazing stuff. And Cameron Young, by the way, what a good year he's had as well. So, but yeah, no, Scheffler's we've joked about it enough. People think what's wrong with Scotty Scheffler. Well, he's the best player by a wide margin. That's what's wrong with him.
Absolutely. Let's get to Major League Baseball. The Marlins have lost 12 straight. So we went in to our break when we were away from each other talking about the Marlins were so high.
They're going to catch the
I
Braves.
don't think they won a game in the time that the 3 of us were, having our respective vacations.
The bizarre to me, the Marlins streak and the Red Sox streak.
Oh, wow.
The Marlins losing all these games in a row was bizarre. The Red Sox, was it 14?
Yeah.
They won 14 games in a row. It's really hard to do. And so, but yeah, the Marlins obviously weren't as good as it looked like they were, so I'm surprised by it. I can't tell you I follow them closely. When Alcantara is not playing, when Alcantara's not pitching, I can't tell you much about them.
They have really good young talent, and they have a good lineup, but I did not see this coming.
Yeah. So
I didn't think they'd go on and win the East, but wow, they actually play the Phillies tonight, so
by the way,
Fish.
Well, the good news is they're due.
Yeah,
so
exactly. By the way, I watched
and that would be just like baseball for them to do.
I watched a lot of baseball over the weekend. I've now changed my mind again. I'm now back to Atlanta's going to hold off the Phillies.
They played really bad baseball this weekend, but they still came away with 2 out of 3 against the Orioles. And they have Ronald Acuna coming back tonight.
Well, by the way, were you watching the Oriole game when the shortstop's dropping the pop-ups?
Oh, yeah.
Did you
Jarvis?
see
I didn't.
Yeah,
of them.
Well, the second one for sure. Pop-up. I'm watching a lot of baseball this weekend. Pop-up. A pop-up. Shortstop gets under it. Ball hits the heel of his glove and pops out.
Same thing. Listen. The end of the game yesterday, the Braves had a chance for a double play in the 9th. It just went under Ozzy's glove. They're not playing great baseball, but they've been winning. So
I've changed my mind. I think they're going to hold off the Phillies.
And there was Weiss intentionally walked somebody at a wild
He's
time.
done it twice in the last 3 games. It's maddening, but it worked out both times. It's crazy.
We'll get you out with today's musical note. Happy belated birthday wishes to Mick Jagger, who turned 83 years old on Sunday. the iconic Rolling Stones frontman, still has incredible energy and a new album out. The Rolling Stones were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I mean, they had to be in the inaugural class, right? 1996. This is Start Me Up.
Yeah, I think Mick's about done, other than the fact that a new album's coming out and they're going on tour.
It's amazing.
They're going on tour. They're going on tour to promote the new album. Yeah. He's 83.
Yeah. They were weren't they old when this song came out? And this song is probably now 45 years old.
God bless his soul. We'll take a break. Hour 2's next. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
It's very special because if you can see, the numbers all go to 11. Look, right across the board. 11, 11,
and most of
11,
the
and then
amps go up to
1010XL.
Exactly. It's one louder, isn't it?
Hey, folks, 0% financing is back at Nimnick Chevrolet, but don't expect it to last. This is one of Chevrolet's most popular offers. It doesn't come around very often, but right now, qualified buyers can get 0% financing for 60 months on select Chevy Silverado 1500 trucks and Chevy Equinox SUVs. Plus, of course, the largest selection of new Chevrolets in the region and always the best price guarantee. There's never a better time to buy at Nimnick. Now, don't wait for this offer to disappear. Look, you know the drill. I've been buying my cars from Nimnick forever. I'm proud of that fact. We've been doing it since 1982, and I've always been treated right. I don't expect that to change. You will be treated the same way. Trust me on this. Visit NimnickChevy.com or stop by Nimnick Chevrolet today. Remember, the largest inventory, the best prices, 0% financing. Where do you get that? I can tell you. Nobody knows that better than I do. And I can tell you where to get it. Nobody but Nimnick.
The birth of a child is a time of joy, but when complications during delivery lead to injury or death, families are left with lifelong problems. If you believe a medical mistake contributed to a birth injury, protect yourself and your family by understanding your legal options. Founded in Jacksonville, Edwards & Ragatz helps families evaluate medical negligence claims. No fees unless you recover damages. Call 904-INJURED or visit 904injured.com.
Edwards & Ragatz, offices Jacksonville.
He tackles talk radio like a middle linebacker in the gap.
I tell it like I see it, and I see it like a middle linebacker.
Tommy Mack. Fridays on Jaguars Today. Unsealed by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors on 1010XL.
This is Mark Nato. My son Justin injured his hand playing baseball for JU. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist performed surgery just a few days later, and within 5 weeks, he was cleared to play in the ASUN baseball tournament. Our family has trusted Southeast Orthopedic Specialists for years. For any orthopedic injury, let Southeast Orthopedic Specialists take care of you too.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Lauren Brooks here. If you're like most of us at 1010XL, you have a list of things you want to get done before football season begins. Make an appointment today to check out Closets by Design's new showroom on Phillips Highway, especially the awesome man cave with a full bar. Closets by Design can customize the perfect entertainment space for you to gather for game days. Call 904-878-9393 to schedule your free in-home design consultation and get 40% off plus an additional 15% off and free installation, or visit closetsbydesign.com.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Rick Ballou here with a congratulations for John's Auto. They've been in business in Jacksonville for 40 years. That's right, going all the way back to 1985. Right now, they'd like to thank each and every one of you who's ever gotten their vehicle serviced at John's Auto. So, car, truck, or diesel, all makes, all models, whether it's a routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul, go to John's Auto on Arlington Road, johnautomotivejacks.com.
Hey, ladies, guess what's happening at Best Bet Jacksonville?
The Ladies International Poker Series?
You know it. The LIP Series returns to Best Bet Jacksonville July 31st to August 2nd for a weekend full of poker excitement.
And the weekend kicks off with the LIPS Roundup on Friday, a Q&A with Linda Johnson and Jan Fisher on Saturday morning, and then the cards go in the air at 1 p.m. for the LIPS Championship.
Don't forget, the guys are invited to play in the Kings and Queens event on Sunday at 1. Details at bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
JaguarsTacos.com.
Guys, I got the perfect place to eat after work.
No way, Jose!
It's got the perfect tacos and margaritas.
No way, Jose!
Grab the crew, get your favorite drink, enjoy great Mexican food at the restaurant everybody's talking about.
No way, Jose!
San Jose and Bay Meadows.
Do you want to grow your career with a company that's committed to growing with you? Florida Home AC has aggressive plans to double their workforce, and they're looking for determined, resourceful people with initiative. Just log on to floridahomeac.com/careers to find out more.
I'm Jared Justice with your 1010XL Southeast Sports Betting Specialist local sports update brought to you by JEA. Jags coach Liam Cohen said that he is very confident that Cole Van Lanen will be back quickly. Van Lanen was placed on the PUP list yesterday. Jags training camp starts Wednesday. The drill and Jaguars Today will be live from camp each day. Preseason, regular season, and sweet tickets for all the Jags home games here in Jacksonville are available at Jaguars.com. It's 95 degrees at 5 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
And we sure appreciate our friends from the Best Bet. The last week now, again, to qualify. I'm going to tell you again because the time's running out to qualify to win that ATV from Best Bet St. Augustine. Every hour played earns an entry, grand prize, and cash giveaways on August 8th. Now, you can find out all the stuff going on at Best Bet Jacksonville on Monument, Best Bet Orange Park on 17, and, of course, Best Bet St. Augustine right off of 95. Go to bestbetjacks.com. And you'll get a pretty good idea of all the fun stuff going on. I mean, there's all kind of fun stuff going on there. I can promise you that. All right, so Florida finishes 9th in the preseason poll. If you haven't seen it, Georgia, Texas, as expected. Ole Miss 3rd. A&M 4th. I thought that was high. LSU 5th. Alabama, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Florida. And then Missouri, South Carolina, Auburn after that. Here's the deal. And this is the sense I got being at the media days for 3 days, Hayes. There's a lot of people that believe something special is going to happen under John Summerall. It's very clear that there's a real belief that something good's going to happen there. Everybody raved about the guy. He stole media days. But at this point, Florida's not a brand anymore. It's a program that hasn't won in 17 years. That's what it is. It's a program that hasn't been relevant, I shouldn't say. They were good in 12, they were good in 20. They won a couple of East under McElwain, but you know the point. And when you have a brand new coach and a young quarterback in an age where everybody else has veteran quarterbacks, that's the problem. If you look at the first 5 teams in this poll, Georgia, Texas, Ole Miss, A&M, LSU, and then drop down to the 7th team, Oklahoma, 6 of the 7 teams, everybody but Alabama, 6 of the top 7 teams have veteran quarterbacks. I mean, I don't have the ages in front of me, but Gunnar Stockton, Arch Manning, Trinidad Chambliss, Sam Levitt, wouldn't you say John Mateer? I don't have it in front of me. Aren't they all 22 years old? Minimum?
Yeah, I mean, Arch is what, in his 3rd year, I think, of college.
So maybe he's not as old.
So Arch, I mean, that's still not young.
Yeah,
very experienced.
Yeah, but yeah, there's certainly some super seniors in that list. I mean, Chambliss had to fight to get a waiver to continue his career. Mateer has been around for a long time now. Certainly Levitt would qualify as, guys that, are probably, 23, maybe even 24.
And Arch is 22.
Yeah.
So Arch is old. Arch is old. So, but I think that's it. I think people say it's, this guy might be pretty good, but we said that about other coaches at Florida. I almost think Florida gets less of the benefit of the doubt now than they have in the past. Does that make sense? Like Alabama's still getting some benefit of the doubt.
Right.
Because they're Alabama. Florida lost the benefit of the doubt, I guess is what I'm saying, 5, 6, 7 years ago.
What would have been interesting is if Kiffin had been Florida's hire and the retention had been the same and Kiffin had hired basically the same kind of staff, maybe not, let's not say this exact same people, but hired an experienced offensive coordinator, hired a very experienced defensive coordinator from the SEC. Would Florida have finished higher in this poll? I don't think they would have. I mean, I think 9th is while I'll be disappointed if that's where they finish this season, I mean, yeah, they were 4-8 last year. They were 2-6 in the SEC. So they have a lot of ground to make up, and it's hard to make up ground when you've got teams that won 10 or 11 games or more last year that are bringing their quarterback back. So it's just a brutal league. People can talk all they want about, well, the SEC hasn't won the national title in the last 3 years. All right, well, Aaron Rye, Wyndham Clark, and some guy I can't even remember, Ryan Fox, won the last 3 majors. It doesn't mean that those are the best golfers in the world right now. They just, they deserve credit for that. But the depth of the SEC is just ridiculous. And again, for a team like Oklahoma, who some people believe is like a dark horse national title contender, they're 7th in their preseason conference media rankings. So yeah, it's a very hard conference to gain ground on because it's just elite, particularly not just at the top, but its greatest strength are teams 5 through 10.
Yeah, and I'm with you. And so if you look at I'm looking at ages here, okay? I'm trying to find out. I can tell you Marcel Reed is 22. He's the A&M quarterback. John Mateer is 22. Gunnar Stockton is 22. Sam Levitt is 21. I would have thought older. Trinidad Chambliss is 23. You get the point. I mean, they're just older guys. I'm trying to find out.
And they've started at least one season,
and they've played a little football.
Yeah.
Most of them have played more than that. They've all played some football. So I think older. I will say the one caveat, by the way. What if Kiffin had gotten to Florida and had gotten Levitt? Would that have changed anything in your mind?
Yes, had to, right?
If Kiffin had gotten Florida and
Levitt
and brought Levitt,
yeah, because would he?
Yeah, that.
He was the biggest quarterback in the portal.
Yeah, probably. But I still don't think Florida would be top 4 on this list. They might be 6th, which is where Alabama is.
Yeah, I agree.
But my point is kind of what you're saying. Like, I think Sumrall has maximized the goodwill and his what he's been able to do. If Florida had hired John Sumrall and they'd lost, 60% of the players that he was able to retain, and he brought the Tulane offensive coordinator with him to be his coordinator, and he hired, the Wake Forest defensive coordinator. Then they might have been 12th on this list, and rightfully so. So he probably has gotten them as high. Again, none of it matters. It's see when the games are actually played.
Well, that's right.
But I will say for Florida being 9th, it was an odd feeling because as a fan, I was like, well, I certainly hope that's not where they finish. I hope they have a better season than that. Because you finish 9th, you're probably looking at a 4-5 conference record in a 9-game season. Well, 4-5, that wouldn't be, to me, anything to really write home about.
I just realized this too, and by the Auburn's 12th on this list. Okay, Auburn's picked to finish 12th, so they got their work cut out too. And we've all been talking about it. This isn't news. What a gigantic game that game is, and I just realized for me, we played Denver the Jags played Denver the next day, so my guess is wheels up at 2. We probably land at 5:30 Eastern.
And that's definitely a night game.
Yeah, it's the 7 o'clock.
Oh, they've already announced it.
Okay. Yeah, 7 o'clock. So wheels up at 2.
Florida doesn't play road games except at night.
That's a freaking truth. 2, land at 5:30 Eastern, which is 3:30 Mountain. I got to get to TV. Hey,
you'll have to scramble.
Listen to me. I got goals.
I think we've had that happened before in Denver.
Yeah.
I want to say, and we're able to figure it out.
I think we will.
Night start. You should be all right.
Yeah,
that is the problem with before we break real quick with Florida, Miami, and Florida State. Like no matter how bad they are at the time, they are still a huge name, and so they get screwed with nighttime kickoffs. No matter what.
Yeah, they're like DeChambeau. They're like the golfer who you're gonna the TV
group
is gonna be on them So you better not stomp on any festivals because you're gonna get penalized. Whereas there's a lot lot of other golfers that could have taken a weed whacker out.
We'll never know.
And no one would have ever known because there wasn't a camera on every shot.
Exactly. Right. Like Jordan Spieth. We see Jordan Spieth, every shot, even though he hasn't won anything in 100 years.
Yeah. But you're right. If Florida's playing Texas A&M,
it's at night,
and Florida's 4-5, and Missouri's playing Georgia, and Missouri's 4-5. Missouri, Georgia is going to be on at noon, and Florida, Texas A&M is going to be a 7:00 game. You're exactly right. We'll take a break. More Jaguar talk after this.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
There's a new sheriff in town.
You know him. Of course, I know him. He's the best marshal I've got.
And things are going to be different around here.
Let's ride.
1010XL, home of the Jaguars.
Jaguars fans, grab your passport. Open and fund a new Everbank Performance account for your chance to win the Everbank London Getaway Experience. One winner gets round-trip airfare for 2, 4 nights hotel, and 2 tickets to the Jags game in London this October. Start your journey today at everbank.com/London. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the 50 United States and D.C. 18 and older. Entry period from 6/29 to 8/27/26. Get official rules and details at everbank.com/London Rules. Sponsor and administrator, Everbank N.A. Member FDIC.
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. When it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
He builds quarterbacks from the ground up. Tinny Thompson breaks it all down like only a real QB coach can. The quarterback whisperer on the drill.
Accelerated by
George Moore Chevrolet
and Encore Research Group.
Get smarter every Friday on 1010XL.
Replacing windows can be a big investment, and you deserve straight answers. Well, at Cash Building Material, I got them. Prosser here. Cash Building Material explained my options, answered my questions, and helped me find windows that fit my home and my budget. No pressure, just honest advice. And they'll do the same for you. So before you buy windows or doors, get a cash quote. Search Cash Building Material and click on their replacements tab. Cash Building Material. Windows and doors done right.
College football fans, I'm Greg McGarity, President and CEO of the Tech Slayer Gator Bowl. Don't miss your last chance to watch college football in Jacksonville before the stadium is renovated. The SEC and ACC face off in Everbank Stadium for this year's Tech Slayer Gator Bowl Wednesday, December 30th at 11:30 a.m. A perfect buy for family stocking stuffers. Act now and get a sizzling summer special of 4 tickets for $100 at TaxSlayerGatorBowl.com. TaxSlayerGatorBowl.com.
America's turning 250, and Superior Fence and Rail is celebrating in true red, white, and blue style. For a limited time, save $250 on your new fence. Give your home the freedom, security, and curb appeal it deserves. Celebrate America with a fence built to last. Offer valid on new contracts for 100 linear feet or more. Cannot be combined with other offers.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Summertime is here, and that means it's grilling season. Now, before you overpay at the big box stores, make a stop at Houston's Meat Company on Main Street in Jacksonville. For more than 50 years, Houston's has been Jacksonville's local butcher shop, serving up quality meats, incredible prices, and the kind of service you just can't find at the grocery chain. Steaks, burgers, chicken, ribs, whatever's on the grill this weekend, Houston's has you covered. Shop local, grill better. Follow Houston's Meats on social for updated weekly specials.
Hicken here. Experience crystal clear vision with the Eye Associates, formerly Bow 9 Associates, Schneider Eye and Wellness Center, and Janet Betchkel, MD, Jacksonville's leader in advanced eye care. From routine eye exams to specialized vision care, their experienced team dedicated to improving and preserving your vision. The same care you've come to trust, now with a new name. To schedule your appointment today, call the Eye Associates, formerly Bowden Eye Associates, Schneider Eye and Wellness Center, and Janet A. Betchkel, MD, at 296-0098.
Hunting season in Northeast Florida is just around the corner, and Green Acres Sporting Goods has been serving Jacksonville hunters for over 55 years. And right now, you can lock in a summer deal on an AR-style 12-gauge shotgun for just $299. And while you're there, check out the largest archery pro shop in Northeast Florida.
And test shoot the newest bows by Hoyt and Matthews. Shop today at Green Acres Sporting Goods.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
We appreciate our friends from the Best Bet. 3 great locations. Best Bet St. Augustine off 95. Best Bet Orange Park off US 17. And, of course, Best Bet Jacksonville on Monument Road. Time now for the big thing of the day. It's brought to you by Big Chief Tire. 6 locations around town now offering the Extra Mile program, which is a simple way to say thanks for trusting them with your car. You get $10 off every oil change, free tire rotations, free tire repairs, free air pressure, free vehicle inspections. You get it all. Big Chief Tire takes care of that for you. The Big Chief Tire Big Thing of the Day is brought to you by Big Chief Tire. You can find them online at WeKeepJacksRolling.com. The big thing this week is the Jags are back on the field. We're certainly excited about that. We told you in the first hour of the program kind of what we thought were some of the storylines, Travis Hunter, Cole Van Lannon, what happens with Chris Rodriguez, some of the injury concerns. But I will say this. And it's not, and we've talked a lot ad nauseum, perhaps, Hayes, about this Brian Thomas Jr. bounce back and this receiving core, which I think is very good. By the way, we read today that they're bringing Zay Jones in for a visit. Did you see that? That it has been repaired.
Yeah, it's interesting. See if they sign him.
To see what happens with him. But we'll know more on Wednesday. I will say this. It is going to be a spectacularly intriguing year to watch Trevor Lawrence, because Trevor Lawrence, under the tutelage of Liam Cohen, I don't want to say the light went on. That's a cliche that's overused. The light didn't go on. He's figured out football before. But as we've said many times, he went into last year's 5th year in the league, having had 3 head coaches and 4 play callers. And it was clear Liam unlocked so much in him about midseason on. And Liam told me when I was down there that when we had him on the air, that it was the Arizona game, that they kind of changed how they went about things. They wanted him to run a little bit more. They wanted him to stretch the field and let it fly a little bit. But isn't that one of the most, in all these years of Jaguars football, I said this earlier, they are more well-positioned to enter a season than any year since the Coughlin years. I really believe that. More than 23, more than 18, more than 08, more. But isn't this fabulously intriguing story? Does Trevor Lawrence, who was in the top 5 in the MVP voting last year, continue to ascend? And are we going to look up at the end of the year and talk about him in the same category as we do Mahomes and Josh Allen and Burrow and all the rest? It's a fascinating story. It really is.
Yeah, and there's a couple environmental things that could really help Trevor out as well, in addition just the familiarity and being in year 2 with Liam and the players around them. You know, they got hurt a lot by penalties last year. I'd forgotten. I was looking at this last week, and I mean, they just got crushed on. I want to say they had 58 more penalties than their opponents last year, and that puts the quarterback in a tough spot because you're just in obvious passing situations and all the drops. I mean, I don't know if there's a stat that I hold more than another, but because you see them all over social media in terms of, reporters will tweet out like, well, this is the amount of percentage of passes that were dropped or that were the receiver error and not the quarterback error. And they all, paint a picture that Trevor Lawrence didn't get a lot of help.
That's right.
And so, yeah, you look at a passer rating of 91.0, and, certainly that has the makings of a number that could, I think jump by 10 points because the completion percentage, I think, can go up if the receivers are a little bit more sure-handed this year. And I do think the penalties will go down. And, that's another thing where Liam's able to call plays with a little bit more of a run threat. So there's a couple of things even beyond Trevor that I think environmentally could really help him this year when you look at his numbers.
Yeah, I'll say this about the run thing. If they can run between – listen, Travis Etienne had a wonderful season. He earned every dollar of the contract he got in New Orleans. I look forward to seeing him when we go over there. But he didn't he wasn't a downhill between the tackle runner. We all know. He would tell you that. That's not what he did. If they can find that, whether it's a healthy Chris Rodriguez or whether Bashil Tutin has a big year – I think that changes everything, because play action is, you don't play action sweeps, okay? Play action is in the middle of the field. And if you call play action, you're trying to hold linebackers. And I agree with you. If there's a downhill running through, so I really like Trevor. I think number one, I really like him. I think he's a grown up man. He doesn't complain about the complaints about him. He's a dude, and I think that is a really intriguing story. When you're in the city, and in my case calling the games, in your case being the beat guy and reporting on the team, you get so much in this vacuum that you get into the weeds. Who is Walker Little going to play well until Cole Van Lannon comes back, and is Matt Dickerson going to be the 3 technique against the running? You know what I mean? Although you get away from the big picture sometimes. Here's the big picture: if 16's really good, they're gonna have a hell of a year. Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean? Sometimes you get so caught up in the details because we talk about it all year long. If Trevor Lawrence has the year he could have, that's still what it's about in the National Football League.
And it's hard to see reasons why, other than injury, that Trevor would regress. There's just nothing that you could pinpoint. His receivers are the same. I mean, his supporting cast is largely intact. I don't think losing ETN is going to bother him a bit from a football standpoint. So, I think you look at a quarterback that, yes, has always had a very shaky instability around him in his tenure as a pro here in Jacksonville, but now looks around, and I'm not sure that there's many more quarterbacks that have the familiarity going into this year that he's going to have. I mean, not just with the coach, but obviously the play caller, the offensive coordinator, the rest of the assistants. You look at, Brenton Strange and Brian Thomas Jr. and Jacoby Myers and Parker Washington, guys that he's very familiar completing passes to at this level. And so an offensive line that we talked about should be immune from at least 1 or 2 injuries derailing them. Whereas there will be some clubs that if they have a couple starters on the offensive line go down, they just simply can't recover from that. The Jaguars at least seem well positioned to be able to take on an injury or two along that offensive line and not have it just completely fall apart. So it's hard to find reasons outside of injury where you would say Trevor Lawrence is going to take a step back after being an MVP finalist. There just really isn't anything there that would lead you to believe that it should all be positive developments and continued improvement based on the environment that's around Trevor Lawrence.
And history tells us if you follow the league, that's what happens. In your age 26, 27 year, your 5th, 6th year in the league, the quarterback, Lamar Jackson didn't get worse. Joe Burrow didn't get worse. Josh Allen didn't get worse. And I don't talk about the great quarterbacks. I mean, Matt Stafford didn't get worse. Jared Goff didn't get, you know what I mean? When you get into that 6th, 7th year in the league, history tells you that you know more. You understand the league better. You understand the speed of the league. There's not a whole, by now I would say that there's not a whole lot that he hasn't seen. There's not a whole lot of defensive configurations. There's not a whole lot of stuff that he hasn't seen yet. So history tells you that if you're on track, and to your point, Hayes, if you got all the good stuff around you, yeah, I think there's no doubt in my mind he's going to be a good player. He finished at the top 5 in the MVP voting. He was a good player last year. The question is, if he takes another step, that's what's intriguing. Is he Josh Allen, Joe Burrow before you know it? I'm not saying that's happening this year, but it's a fascinating.
The makings are there.
Yeah, it's a fascinating story if you get away from in the weeds of the details of just watching Trevor Lawrence. We'll take a break. Golden moment is next. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Jags, Gators, tomorrow's game. Almost anything goes. If you got something to say, holler at Hacker. Call, text, or chat. Monday nights from 8 to 10 on 1010XL.
Everybody loves what's happening at Beards Diamonds this month. Up to 40% off store-wide at their annual Christmas and July sale. But you need to hurry. The event ends at the end of the month. Hurry in to see all the amazing deals up to 40% off, and that includes engagement rings, fashion rings, earrings, bracelets, bands, pendants. This is the annual store-wide sale that everybody loves because you get December prices like Christmas. If you're getting engaged this summer, now's your chance to get a bigger, better quality diamond. Or maybe it's time to treat yourself to a fabulous fashion ring, necklace, or bracelet. Don't forget, Beards is the Town Center's locally owned diamond superstore. Say hi to the Lupos when you go in. Don't settle for the corporate chain store experience when you can get the value, service, and attention you deserve. Don't miss Christmas in July exclusively at Beards Diamonds at the St. John's Town Center. I say shop local, shop Beards Diamonds. Hurry, though, the offer ends at the end of July and will not be extended. Beards Diamonds.
Looking for ways to save on your JEA bill? We're on it. When it comes to your utilities, the less you use, the more you can save. That's why JEA offers ways to help you manage your usage and avoid higher than expected bills. Use our online tools to monitor your usage throughout the month. Schedule a free irrigation or energy efficiency assessment and get personalized tips to save. And with JEA rebates, you can save when upgrading to more efficient equipment. Find more ways to save at JEA.com.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Some auto shops call it an inspection and flag any little thing. That's called a wallet flush. At AA Automotive, they don't play that game. They fix only what needs fixing. AA Automotive on Richard Street. Boring name, awesome service, and no wallet flush.
Hi, I'm Blake Bortles. People know I've always said if I wasn't playing football, I'd probably be on a construction site. So Next Gen Roofing finally let me live the dream.
Blake, why are you wearing a red practice jersey?
Always worn it for safety.
Right. Well, around here, the red jersey means you're the new guy, so you're in charge of garbage cleanup.
Perfect. I love garbage time. Always excelled in it.
It's not exactly what I meant.
Good thing Next Gen Roofing has real pros handling everything from family homes to large commercial buildings. Next Gen, teamed up with you.
Teamed up with you.
There's no better time than now to buy your football season parking pass from Tailgaters. Complete with on-site restaurant, indoor restrooms, and all-day security. Tailgaters parking selling out. Log on to tailgatorsparking.com today.
Summer air should feel fresh, not full of dust, allergens, or whatever winter left behind in your vents. Your air ducts, they're the lungs of your home. And if they're dirty, you're breathing it in every day. That's where Zero Res comes in. Hick and here, backed by over thousands of Google reviews and a 4.9 out of 5.0 rating. This month only takes $75 off your air duct cleaning. Cleaner air, better efficiency, a fresher home. Call 287-5727 or visit ZeroResJacksonville.com and ask for the 1010XL special.
Zero Res.
Hi, folks. Frank Frangie for the farm at Okefenokee. My wife and I and a bunch of friends just got back from the farm, and we had an incredible experience. We toured the regenerative farm, as well as the beautiful handcrafted cabins, and were treated to a fantastic farm-to-table dinner created by Congreve and Penn. Man, was it good. Well, you can learn more at okefarm.com. That's okefarm.com. And even hear my interview with farm co-founder Doug Davis to learn even more about this amazing property. That's okefarm.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
It's pretty easy today. The golden moment is all the talk about the Jags going back to camp. I'm certainly excited about that. I'm excited about the fact that the Jags are going to be on the field in 2 days. I'll reiterate what Hayes said earlier. If you don't have tickets to go to one of these camp practices, get one, man. This could be a special year. I mean, this could really, 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 really be a special year for the Jaguars. I mean that in all my heart. I know I'm always that guy in glasses half full. I know. We are who we are. But this could be a really, really special year, and I am.
And it's early. It's 8:30. Like
it's not gonna be
Wednesday.
hot.
It's 8:30 to 10. So yeah, it hasn't gotten crazy hot. They've got it covered. If you haven't been there, they've got fans, so it should be for late July, it should be pleasant. And and it just it'd be a shame for it not to be full. With the team coming off a 13-win season.
Yeah, so it's going to be an awful lot of fun to watch. I can tell you that. So all right, so we touched on it at the top, but haven't touched on it since then. LeBron James is headed to the Sixers. JJ, are they the best team in the East? Are the Knicks the best team in the East? Who's the best team?
I'd probably still say the Knicks. By the way, if you can hear that behind me, disregard that announcement. I don't know if you guys can hear that. There's like a public service announcement right in the background. I think that the Knicks probably are still favorites to win the East. I mean, they kind of dominated through the playoffs last year. I really am iffy on if Embiid's ever going to be like that healthy enough to, carry a team into the finals. It's been a few years since we really saw him, since his MVP season, be able to like play a full slate of games. So I would probably have them as like the second best team right now, but I wouldn't be shocked at all if this team ends up in the finals out of the East next year. I would be shocked if they actually won it, because to me, OKC and San Antonio are going to be the teams to beat for, I don't know, the next 5-6 years.
What about
easily.
it? What do you think?
I like the Magic.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I think the 76ers are, probably the team. I mean, again, that's a lot of talent. If LeBron James is he's probably your fourth best player now, right? Wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
I mean, arguably.
Yeah, he's probably going to have, depending on Maxey and what we get from Maxey, and depending on how much Embiid plays, I could see that.
So, yeah, I think they should have great reasons for optimism.
Yeah,
Boston's got to feel like, damn.
Yeah, I thought the same
we
thing.
just won a couple years ago. We thought we were penciled in to win the East the next 10 years, and now we don't have Jalen here, and LeBron's in Philly, and Philly's like their rival. So and the Knicks just won the title.
But it is really, I mean, I was trying to think about this. I'm trying to think of when the Sixers were all that. Now, listen, in 2001, they went to the finals against the Lakers with Iverson, but they got walloped for 4-1. Other than that, there's obviously the Dr. J years with Andrew Toney and way back in the day.
Did they ever
Maurice
win a
Cheeks.
title?
I'm trying to think if that team won a title or not. I don't know if that team won a title or not. When Daryl Dawkins was there, Caldwell Jones, Dr. J,
I thought
George
the 76ers
McGinnis.
maybe won one in like the early
83.
80s. Yeah.
And 67.
Was that team? Was that George McGinnis, Daryl Dawkins, Caldwell Jones, Andrew Toney, that team, right? When that the team, Maurice Cheeks, weren't they all I think that was the team, right? That was the 83 team. But that was it. I mean, that was it. That might be the only, wasn't that the same team? Yeah. But I mean, they even when they had Wilt Chamberlain, they didn't win it.
Yeah, so that year they had Moses Malone was the MVP actually that season.
Oh, that's right. It was
Dr. J, Mo Cheeks, Toney, Bobby
right.
Jones.
Yeah, so it wasn't Daryl Dawkins. It was Moses Malone was on that team, and Mo Cheeks and Andrew Toney and those guys. So do you remember? You probably aren't old enough to remember the old glory days on Bay Meadows Road. You heard stories of it.
I think I actually do.
Was it a bar?
It was a sports bar called Glory Days on Bay Meadows Road. Again, you would have been a kid, but the Times Union Sports Writers, we used to go there. That was the go-to in the mid '80s. You'd go in there, and they had basketball goals in the back.
Love that.
Real
love that.
Like real basketball goals, not the little Papa
the little
shot.
ones.
They had not the Papa shot, the real basketball goals. And one night in there, Andrew Toney was in. I don't know why he was in town. He was like probably after he retired. I mean, well, no, it was in the '80s, so it went after. Boy, he made everything. It was like, well,
I would hope.
We're watching. We're going, golly, that's how these guys shoot. I mean, like 30 in a row or whatever. So it was kind of fun.
A sports bar with a full basket. That sounds sick.
We had
man.
that in my
I love that.
In my extremely successful 10-month restaurant career. We had that at Frangie's.
Did you?
Until Tom McManus almost broke it. Okay, so ask Tommy that story. He and his brother started fighting in there.
I was about to say, with the drinking involved, it probably seems like an insurance thing. That most places don't have something like that.
But I'll say this: where I was going with the 76ers thing, I've never cared about the 76ers. I don't care that much about the NBA. But I will now. The games are all they're in the Eastern time zone, so the games are watchable now. It's not like when I would have watched him on the Lakers just because I think it was a fun story. Every game was late.
10:30.
Yeah, and so I will watch.
And the Sixers are going to get so many national TV games. They're going to be on ESPN and TNT crazy. Yeah, Amazon.
The NBA is something I want to refine. Okay, hockey's great, but it was never my thing. I love boxing was great as a kid, but it's never coming back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the one thing I would like to rediscover as a sports fan is the NBA, because it's been gone. I mean, as a little kid, I loved it. I loved the Lakers, Celtics, and Knicks back in the day. I really did. So I'd like to one day see that come back. We'll take a break. We'll wrap the program after this.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
This is Brent Musburger's VSIN Action Update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Major League Baseball, Yordan Alvarez of the Houston Astros, the betting favorite to finish with more home runs than anyone in 2026. He is a plus 105. Kyle Schwarber of the Phillies, plus 115. Junior Caminero of the Tampa Bay Rays is at plus 900. Alvarez is also the betting favorite to take home the American League MVP at minus 360. Caminero plus 440 and Ben Rice of the Yankees plus 1,200. Shohei Ohtani has been the runaway favorite all season to win the NL MVP at minus 250. Pete Crow Armstrong of the Cubs plus 200. James Wood of the Washington Nationals plus 2,500.
Progressive helping veterans drive their lives forward. More info, keystoprogress.com.
I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1010XL.
When it comes to your home or business, experience matters. That's why every apprentice at Local 234, whether training in plumbing, pipe fitting, welding, or HVAC, must pass a rigorous county licensing exam before graduating. It's just one more way Local 234 ensures the next generation of skilled professionals is ready for the job. Before you hire anyone, ask if the work will be performed by a licensed journeyman. Local 234, make the right connection.
Hello, all you Jacksonville sports fans. Don here from Taco Lou. If you're in the mood for some great tacos, cold Dos Equis, and maybe even a sip of some fine tequila, then the Lou is calling your name. Come out to Jack's Beach and experience what many have dubbed the #1 taco in the 904. There are plenty of great taco joints in town, and we're proud to have been around for this long, and we have only you, the fine people of Jacksonville, to thank for helping us grow and become who we are today. Cheers to you, Jacksonville, and thank you from the Lou crew. Taco Lou in Jacksonville Beach.
This is Hayes Carline for Harold and Harold. After an accident, everything can feel chaotic and stressful. You're dealing with insurance calls, medical appointments, car repairs, and for most people, it's stressful and unfamiliar territory. That's where Harold and Harold comes in. Their team knows how overwhelming this time can be, and they guide you through every step of the process so you're never left wondering what comes next. If you've been injured and need someone in your corner, call Harold and Harold at 251-1111.
Nothing says All-American like a great meal and a great deal. MyGate Rewards members. Grab any Roller Grill favorite, Lay's brand chips, and an ice-cold Pepsi or Gatorade, all for just $5.50. The All-American meal deal only at Gate. See store for details.
Hey, Hicken here. I want to talk skin along with my friends at Beaches Dermatology, reminding you to wear your sunscreen. Football season is back, baby. And with that, days under that bright sun. So when you load up that truck for the game day tailgate, or the chairs for your kids' flag games, or even the boat heading downtown to watch our Jags, make sure you bring the screen. Sunscreen, that is. It's a must here in Duval. But if you have any concerns right now, give Beaches Dermatology a call online at beachesdermatology.com.
Hurricane season is here, and now is the time to make sure your property is ready. Weak, damaged, or overgrown trees can become a serious hazard when storms move in. Trust the experts at Lucas Tree Service with over 45 years of experience for professional tree trimming, removal, and storm preparation. Don't wait until a storm is on its way. Schedule your tree assessment today at lucastreeservice.com.
Which team holds the record for the most NCAA men's basketball championships?
For over 20 years, Southern Oak Insurance has given Floridians a better alternative to their current homeowners policy. See what you can get with Southern Oak. Log on to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
UCLA holds the record for most men's NCAA basketball championships with 11. Kentucky is next with 8.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Hey friends, Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Have you ever stored a gallon of leftover paint, opened the can years later, and it's rusty, crusty, and unusable? Next time, secure the lid tightly to ensure no leaks and store the can upside down. Oxygen can't get to it, therefore no rust and no crust. If you'd like more tips or have a question about a project, we'd love to help. Go to performance-painting.com. Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting.
You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys locksmith service.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
You know, the whole time we're doing the show, I do want to thank our friends one more time for the Best Bet. Again, that Lips Poker Series this week at Best Bet Jacksonville from the 31st of July all the way to August 2nd. You're going to love that thing. Best Bet Jacksonville on Monument Road. The whole time we've been doing this show, we've been watching the Bills and the Jags. They're replaying it on, what is that, NFL Network, I guess?
Yeah.
It's painful again, isn't it?
It is.
That was a painful loss. I mean, right now it's 10-7, but the Jags just missed the field goal at the end of the half. And, I mean, it is. I mean, it's...
Damn it, Cam.
And Josh Allen is just such an unbelievable player.
Yeah.
You see him score the touchdown, he gets basically bent in half.
Right. And the other time, he almost looked like he broke his hand on one of his throws.
And remember that play late in the game where it was like a QB sneak that he got?
Yeah.
He just carried the entire Jags roster for 10 yards, basically.
Yeah. But I'm just I'm watching. I think the pain, because I mean, Cam Little missed the field goal. I think Cam Little's the best kicker in the league. He missed field goal by a foot. He never missed.
He was 30 of 34.
Yeah. But he's human, and he barely misses.
Barely
and then,
missed it.
And then
instead of 10-10 at the half, you're down, and
then they make little mistakes. Threw a few interceptions. Just things that they had not been doing.
Yeah.
But again, that's the NFL. There's no 2 out of 3 in the NFL. That's what makes the game great and tragic all at the same time. But we're watching it so in the closing segment. Let's say hello to Rick below.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
That was kind of painful to watch, Rick. We're watching it. I don't like it.
Well, at least they decided not to run Tootin. That was a great decision by the football team. What do you have, 3 carries, 41 yards? And then they called off the dogs.
10-7. They're down 10-7 with
that was a mistake.
42 in the third. You ready for camp?
Most deaf.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay. I'm ready.
Mm-hmm.
Did you play golf today?
No.
You're playing golf tomorrow. Tomorrow's your last day. You're playing it. Well, yes, you are. Yes, you are.
I'm not playing any golf. I am
not. Tomorrow's your last day on
Still
the eve
got Cindy's 7-year-old granddaughter, Dakota, in town. I've been a good, I guess, pseudo granddad.
Yeah. So
doing all that good stuff.
So tomorrow's the eve of.
Yeah.
You're not playing.
No, there's a good chance, though, I could have the Volstead Act put on me tomorrow because I'm going to get after it big time on my final day before camp. So if I'm a little groggy at 8 o'clock Wednesday over at the Miller Electric Center, I think you know why.
You know what? And I'll respect it even more.
No, what a weekend, though. And, I mean, it's here. So, I mean, the people want it. They got it. And I think it's going to be a very exciting camp. I think it's going to be so different from a year ago. I know we've all talked about it, but you look at who returns on this team, you don't have to go through really that learning process anymore. It's all about repetition and getting better and adding more. So I think it's going to be just a phenomenal camp.
Coming up tonight.
We got all that. I got a little bit of college ball I want to mix in, a tiny bit of baseball. I know once we get into Wednesday, certainly all that baseball talk will be gone. It snuck up on some people. How about the Hall of Fame this weekend? You didn't hear about it. Really didn't hear a peep about it. I live on the MLB network at night, like watching the big inning. That's kind of like baseball's edition of the red zone. It will take it from game to game to game, but
well,
man.
It was hard to get serious about Jeff Kent standing up there. Jeff Kent went in, okay? Jeff Kent, everybody.
Carlos Beltran. Yeah. Mickey Mantle, Carlos Beltran.
Yeah, right.
I mean, Rod Carew, Jeff Kent.
I'm right with
Willie
you.
Willie Mays, Andrew Jones.
Hard to get excited about it. Certainly was. Thank you, Rick. Rick Beluga's Into the Night. That comes up right now. Folks, that'll do it for our program. One more day before camp. You be ready?
I'm ready.
One more day.
Can't wait.
Have a program for you tomorrow. That really will be on the eve of training camp. We're pretty excited about it around here. We're out of here. Rick Beluga's next. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.